Okay, and since you brought it up, I guess what about Phillip Rivers, a guy you coached? What do you think about him heading back in the league at the age of 44?
Wish him all the best. It was an honor and privilege to coach him for 4 years in San Diego. I read a little article and saw some of Shane's quotes about the type of competitor he is and what the game means to him. So it doesn't shock me at all. And just happy for him because I know he absolutely loves to play the game and what the game of football means to him. So I wish him all the best.
The rigors of how difficult it is to play quarterback as a pro, what kind of positions him to be able to come off the street and feel like he can do it?
Well, he's one of the best to ever do it. A Hall of Fame type quarterback. Obviously, this might delay it now for him to get in. But it's just he knows the system. He's been with Shane before. He's a true competitor. He's one of the smartest players I've ever been around. So it won't take him any time to get up and running to be able to play if that's what they're going to do.
Mike, when it comes to a young team, what's the key for them to respond to victory the right way?
Well, you got to learn every week. We showed some clips today. The complimentary football, creating the turnovers, or a block kick, and all of a sudden you get a touchdown after that, kick field goal, things like that. But it's key for these young guys to understand you got to, in the business, you got to start stacking wins as you go. And it's week after week. There's always things you're going to do to play better from the week before. There's plenty of mistakes we made in the game. You got to clean up. But it's important for these guys just to understand the importance of every week. And you just got to build up the momentum you have one week to the other. Because it's all about winning, and that's what we've always taught. Every week you're trying to go 1-0, but it's great for the young guys to get that win, or for the entire organization to get that win last week. So now we have to build off of that and go on the road against another good team and find a way to win.
Mike, the win obviously needed. Have you felt maybe a lightness in the air this week compared to weeks in the past?
Yeah, it's great to win. I'm just so happy for all the players, the coaches that put all the time in, the entire organization. Since I've been standing in front of you, everyone's bought in to what we were doing, how we were going to do it, and it's just great for everybody involved in the entire organization. And it's definitely a different feeling when you walk in Monday after a win than after some of the Mondays we've had the past couple of weeks. But it's great. I'm just happy for everybody. It's well-deserved.
Good, Derek.
When you talk about Cam and the need to refine his mechanics and all, what kind of goes into that in terms of reteaching something maybe that he's done a certain way for years and now having to relearn?
Well, I think we got to be careful. You can't just change everything in the middle of the season. That's one thing. I've talked to him a lot about his footwork, and I think he's put a lot of time into that, and he thinks about it. But once he goes out and starts playing in a live situation, you got to forget about it. You can't worry about those things. That's for all the individual drills. That's going to take. We've talked about a number of things, but you're not going to just change the throwing motion overnight. That's something that it's hard to change a throwing motion. It really is. I think it's a lot easier to change your feet. You can work on those things, but he's thrown so many balls a certain way. But you always kind of talk to him about certain things, and in the off season, obviously, as he goes forward, there'll be a lot of things he'll want to work on. You can kind of show him. The great thing now is that, I could sit down with him and show him tape and say, hey, look at this. This is maybe why you're missing these throws. If your feet are different, you could show him the same throw he made when his footwork was better or his target line was better, things like that. He has a better understanding for it. But he's done I think his feet have gotten better in the past couple games and, throughout the season as time's gone on. So it's just, he'll get better every day, I think.
With Cam and just like how he was after the game, there was a bit made about he wasn't happy enough. I know he didn't throw like a party or anything, but to have that same attitude, that same mindset of wanting to get better regardless of a win or a loss, like what kind of testament is that to just him as a young player and striving to be better?
Well, like we've said every day about Cam since we've talked together is he wants to be great. He has a burning desire to be great. He wants to play his best game every week, and that's just the way he is. He's a competitor, and he wants to go out there and do his job at a very high level, or play at a very high level week in and week out. So that's what you love about him.
Did you have any conversation with him about not being excited enough after the win?
I've talked to him.
How did he take the feedback?
Oh, he's great. He wants to be key. That's the great thing about Cam. You could sit down with Cam regardless of the tougher conversations, the good conversations. He wants to be coached hard, and I think part of my job is to help him, not just in everything of being an NFL quarterback, not just on the field, off the field, how you prepare and all those things. And I think we've had some great conversations the past couple of weeks, and that's what I love doing with young players, is just kind of helping them and just give them some advice. But I want the guys to be themselves also. So that's the great thing about Cam. He's a true competitor. He wants to be great. So
I'm curious, what issue did you have with that made you want to speak to him about this?
Well, Cam and I, we talk about a lot of things. So, I mean, on a weekly basis, him and I sit down and talk about a wide variety of things. So whether it's game, like what you're asking about, talk to him about that, things like that. So there's plenty of conversations we have.
And not just Cam, but I guess the team as a whole. You're an upbeat guy. How much have you tried to preach positivity, I guess, since you took over here? And do you find other guys doing that as well?
Yeah, I think that's big. I mean, you've got to be positive. No one's there's mistakes that happen during games, and there's reasons why you don't win games. But I'm not someone to sit around and mope and feel sorry for myself or feel sorry for everybody. You've got to move on. This is the NFL. You've got to go in and week out and trying to find a way to win. So you're going to coach hard. It's not about you're not trying to get on somebody and trying to make them better and point out the mistakes in the game. I mean, we just watched a video this morning from the game with why we won the game, certain things, and then all of a sudden there's 3 or 4 clips I put in there. This is what you can't do. These are things we have to do better. But I'm a big believer of being real with everyone, but also staying positive and just keep going. Everyone's trying to get better, and regardless of what your record is, that's what you're trying to do each week, is get better and find a way to win that week.
And some of the vets have talked about too, this idea that the younger players need to learn how to win in this league. Can you single out the moment or the lesson, maybe in Carolina or wherever it was, when you learned what it takes to win in the NFL?
Well, it's always different. I mean, really. God, you go back into the Super Bowl year and the 03 season, the 04 season, or 04 Super Bowl, I should say. You have a 2-minute drive, you go down and win in the opener against Jacksonville. And then next thing you know, we're in Tampa, we block an extra point, and you win in overtime. So there's so many ways to win a game, and that's what you tell the players, is that you got to find a way to win every game week in and week out. You don't know when that play that's going to separate you or pull you away, to put a team away. Sometimes there's the third quarter, there's a missed third down conversion, and all of a sudden it's like, what could have you done to end the game sooner so that they can't come back? So now it's not a 2-score game, it's a 3-score game. And then the big thing, too, is it's all about winning. There's no such thing as an ugly win. You're winning, and that's what you try to do. It's so hard to win on a weekly basis in the NFL that you got to enjoy every win you get. It's much better than the alternative. If we don't win that game on Sunday, how are we all feeling today? But we won the game, so you enjoy it. You learn from the mistakes. You clean up the mistakes. And, like we've been talking about, you guys ask about the young players all year long. It's like, don't make the same mistake twice. So it's the same thing situationally from the game the other day. Let's clean up the negative part of things and not make that same mistake in the future. So that's big, but you got to teach these guys.
When you look at the 49ers, what are the, biggest concerns on each side of the ball?
Well, offensively, they're very efficient. Kyle does an outstanding job putting plans together, all the shifts in motion, and the talented players. He's always put his players in a position to be successful. So you got to be dialed in. We all got to be 11 guys on the same page, pre-snap, post-snap, all those things. And then defensively, Robert's done a phenomenal job with the guys, and he always has. He's got a scheme that's been very successful regardless of where he's been. You've got to match their energy, their intensity they play with. They play the game the way it's supposed to be played. And that's one thing, having known Robert for a long time, is you just love the way his defenses play. They play hard. They play the game the way it's supposed to be played. So it's a good challenge for us.
What's your take or appreciation of the kickoff rule change, where it used to be the touchback was 20, then last year 30, this year 35, just to kind of put a charge into the games and make the kickoff return like an actual play again?
Well, it's always been a play. It's just been how you're looking at it and how you want to define the benefits of it or why you're doing it. the great thing that excites me about every kicking play is we've got 17 back there. So and if you watch obviously the first kickoff in the game, the way the guys, we had the return to the right side. You see the way the guys blocked it. We were talking about going in this game about dominating the fronts on the offense and defensive lines, and then you see the opening kickoff, and you see the whole entire right side, how they're matched up. We take the ball at the 48-yard line. We'll take that every time. So, it's what's best for the game. That's why they made the change, and it's just exciting for us because we've got a great returner back there.
All set.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.